Hey traders, I wanted to give an update to the squeeze indicator that I've been giving out to people. Actually, I've had some pretty good feedback about it, giving it access to a lot of folks. All you got to do is just ask. I'm going to keep on updating videos with how I'm using it. Again, this is still under development. I haven't really codified a strategy that I'm willing to share publicly, but I have been using it in conjunction with other indicators. So that's what you need to be doing. Look to use some indicators that you're using right now, moving averages, supports and resistances, etc. And use this just to tell you when things are starting to consolidate. In other words, price is starting to get really tight in a range for a potential breakout. And if you are using this, you'll notice that there's basically two shades. There's blue shading and purple shading. And I'll let you in on a little secret. Basically, what happens is that blue shading is when only one of the Bollinger Bands is inside the Keltner channel, whereas when it's purple shading, that's when both of them are. So you can see right here where in this right here, the Bollinger Band gets really starting to get tight in here. That's where both of them are inside the purple Keltner channel. Whereas in this case right here, only one is inside of it. So that's just the distinction. And we can go ahead and say that, well, if both of them are coming together, it can be a little more powerful. So there's another thing. I wanted to go back and look at a couple of things on Bitcoin where this has actually worked out pretty well. There's a really good trade, and I posted this one to the Telegram right as it was about to happen. Look at this little pattern right here on the 30-minute chart of Bitcoin from a few days ago. It was a good short-term trade, but this is where the squeeze was happening. We have a nice, long, consistent period of the squeeze before it finally actually broke down right here. And it was very easy to figure out where our target needed to be. If you looked at some of my past videos, I talk about how I like to use the 50% retracement level. And very simply, if you go from the start of this move up to here, gives us a nice target for where this was going to stop. And so basically the way this trade worked was we looked at this squeeze and we set up a short position. We want to see it break this last low right here because we don't want it to hit the low and bounce off of it. So right when it was squeezing, we put an entry below, right below this low, give ourselves a little buffer, and try to get at least a 1-to-1 to the next support or resistance that we wanted to get. Now, when this triggered, it triggered on this bar right here. And it was actually looking for a moment like it was going to be a false breakout, but had the stop up there, had a pretty good risk reward. Boom, got it, captured a really quick short. And so this is not the only one that's happened. There was another one that really preceded why I'm starting to go a little more public with this, because I actually gave this in a live presentation one time, actually in real life, because sometimes people actually do meet in real life for Bitcoin meetups. But this back here, before we had this big run up off of the 1100s, here was another really, really clear example. I'm looking at the 4-hour chart right here. So right here, nice little squeeze. It's making a sort of wedge out of the squeeze. And again, both are coming together as in the purple. And you could have taken a long position to either clear this high right here, or you could even take it to clear this high and shoot for a good 1-to-1. Would have been a really nice trade up to that point. So if you're using the indicator already, I want you to look for these kind of squeezes to happen. And I say this because I do notice this happening right here, but I'm not sure I like this quite so much because we've got a very clear range from this high and this low. And so if we're going to try to take a breakout on either side of this, it's going to be very, very difficult to get an appropriate 1-to-1 if it does break from either up here to here or potentially come down from here to here. Might be possible to grab it, but watch for this to continue to squeeze, and have a good appropriate risk reward. Good luck in your trading. We'll see you in the next video.